I'm dressed up in purple, so you know what it means! Hey guys, it's Amy here, back again with another video. Happy Asexual Week to all my fellow aces out there! I always want to talk more about my asexuality on this channel, and I literally have to restrain myself so that I can post more content in the future about asexuality and not just fling it on you all at once. I know eventually I will run out of ideas relating to asexuality, and I want to work on this channel long term. In my endeavors of finding more asexual pieces of media and trying to explain to others what the fuck it means, I have come across a lot of misconceptions about this part of my identity. In spite of our pride flag being nearly completely monochromatic, we are just as colorful and diverse as the rest of the LGBTQIA+ community. We have a lot of differences between each other. So I'm going into the 7 biggest misconceptions about our kind. If you happen to discover that you fall into this spectrum too at any point, whether it's in this video or in your future, I want to tell you that I'm here to give you the support you need. You know, just pop into my TikTok or Instagram DMs and I'll be able to give you the support that you need. Yay! For the rest of you, I hope that this can clear up any bad or cliche portrayals that you have about us, whether in your day-to-day life or writing about us in your stories. Because I would hate to become a cliche. Number 1, asexuality is static. People think of being asexual as being the exact opposite of being pansexual. Pansexuals are attracted to everybody and asexuals are attracted to nobody. We are destined to be old maids and hermits living in our shacks in the middle of the forest. Now let me tell you what we really do in those shacks. Asexuality is just as fluid as any other kind of sexuality. While asexuality does define a lack of sexual attraction, it doesn't mean that there's none. Just less than the average person, or not in normal ways. Some people never experience it, some people do under certain circumstances. Some people only experience it after getting to know somebody and trusting them. And there's even terms within the asexuality umbrella such as gray sexual and demi. So therefore asexuality is not static, it's just a black, white, and purple spectrum. Number 2, we find sex disgusting. Now, if we don't experience sexual attraction the way a normal person does, surely we must find the concept of it alien. Every time that we come across even the slightest pornographic thing, we must delete our search history and hope it'll erase itself from our brain history. We cannot even be in a room when a penis or a vagina is mentioned. Yeah, no, what you're describing is prudence. Some asexuals may be sex repulsed, but most that I have met and talked to haven't been. In some cases too comfortable, I've had to ask some very interesting questions about sex and sexual attraction because I was like realizing what is and isn't sexual attraction in my head. And in terms of stuff like dirty jokes, I crack them like all the time. I think it just adds an ironic spice to them. That being said, I do refuse to watch pornographic material, and I very much have none to little smut on my shelves. I think only 2 books on my shelf right now contain smut. Welcome to the Fade to Black zone! So if your friend is sex repulsed, then that's not the sign that they're asexual. You don't need to pressure ask them about it. Being sex repulsed can happen for literally anybody. Number 3, we're virgins and celibates with oaths of chastity. Yes, sex is just that foreign to us. We would never experience it or feel it ever, and who would want to?
Sex is just animalistic.
You're missing out one clear difference here. A celibate is somebody who, typically for a religious purpose, does experience sexual attractions, but they just don't want to act on them. Asexuality means we don't even have that attraction in the first place. Some people have been in situations unfortunate enough where they thought it was some kind of sickness or some kind of thing that would be curable. They were waiting to experience sexual attraction and they were wanting to have it happen just so they could fit in. I recognize my luck to have never been in such a case. Simply put, we're built different, and it can take us a long time to realize that we are built different. For me, it was a few months after being out of a relationship that I realized a lot of the stuff that I was feeling related to being asexual, and that I actually was under that identity. Number 4, we don't want relationships. This is the biggest misconception that I have personally faced. This is because people see romantic and sexual attraction as the exact same thing when they are in fact different. The heteronormative view is that you can't have one without the other, but us asexuals and our siblings the aromantics, we know different. Asexuals may be able to experience romantic attraction, but they won't experience sexual attraction, whereas aromantics, they won't experience romantic attraction, but they would be able to experience asexual attraction. Because of this, some of us may want relationships based on one and not the other. Or some of us may accept the other side of said relationship and take part in those things just to make sure our partner is pleased and comfortable. And because of this aspect of both asexuals and aromantics, this is where some people erase us. When I have told some people about my asexuality, they instantly assume that I am never going to have a partner and that I never want a serious partner. But the truth is, I want something that is very romantic, and I don't know how I feel about the sexual side of things. I may experience sexuality with somebody if I end up developing a deep enough connection with them, but in this current state in my life, I definitely don't have any particular desire to have sex with somebody. Which kind of leads into number 5, asexuals will never have sex. Sex can be broad for some of us, and as I just mentioned, I don't know quite where I fall on that myself. Because asexuality is a lack of sexual attraction and not necessarily a total erasure, certain asexuals may be willing to have sex in certain circumstances. One asexual may never want to have sex, the other would only want to have it with a partner that they completely trust. Another asexual may only get sexual pleasure from masturbation, and then another asexual will take part in sexual intercourse even though they don't feel anything. It's just to keep their partner happy. Asexuality is very broad. You've only seen the tip of this unspicy iceberg. Or is it actually spicy because we have a spicy view on relationships? Number 6, we're late bloomers who haven't found the right one. This is the root of queer imposter syndrome for many asexuals. It's real. It makes me feel guilty for labeling myself as asexual every second day, because what if that's just how I feel? What if it's just because I haven't found the right kind of partner? For younger asexuals, this appears very, very possible, and it's the very reason that I didn't find out I was asexual until I was out of high school. And often, this is how the media depicts asexuals and aromantics, as just late bloomers. But you'd think the hormones would have kicked in by now. And while I was in that period, I developed quite a few crushes both in real, fictional, and celebrities. Not once did the idea of having sex with them ever come into my mind. Kissing them, sure. Just generally hanging out with them and just having a good time, absolutely. But never did I fantasize about, taking off clothes.
Take off your clothes.
And I'm not one to believe in true love enough to think that I'm just waiting for the right one, because I've had plenty of moments where what I felt was definitely a romantic attraction. So the fact that we have waited so long and we don't feel it, it's gotta be something different inside of our bodies. And number 7, we're obsessed with cake. Okay, this one I genuinely don't know the root of. Apparently, asexuals love cake. Unhealthily in some cases. I genuinely do not know the root of this. It's just every time I look on TikTok and find a video about asexuality, cake's involved as a stereotype about us. Like seriously, I work with a bakery, and while my favorite item on their menu right now is a cake, I wouldn't get it like every single time I go in. I'm just not a cake person. Where did this stereotype come from? Like, is this characters, celebrities? Is it just like this thing in asexual culture that you just headcanon a character as being asexual as soon as they take a bite out of cake? Like, if I was craving something sweet, I'd choose a few more things first before I'd choose cake. Like donuts and fruit, or just like a nice juice or milkshake. Yeah, some of this stuff was a little bit too dark or a little bit too sex-themed, so I kind of wanted to lighten up a bit with this last one. Because asexuality it's got its tough sides. We get erased, we have self-doubt and queer imposter syndrome. People are constantly trying to tell us what a relationship should be like and therefore how to not be ace. But asexuality, it has its perks when you've got one of the coolest pride flags around. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed these little asexual insights from an actual asexual and are able to use that in your day-to-day life with your writing, your representation, and just meeting people. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new around here. You can ring that bell to find out when I post more creative content. And of course, I write asexual characters. In ASTER'S CODA exposure, my girl Kyrie, she's my asexual rep in this YA portal fantasy. Follow Abby Tacker as she dives into the 3 worlds and has to work out her place in it in the midst of an otherworldly blood feud. Also check down the description for my Instagram, my Fiverr, my TikTok, and my website. Stay creative everybody, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.